What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mark Out Wrestling with Glen and Anthony. I am Glen.
I'm Anthony.
Drinking your chocolate milk?
Yeah, man. I got a mustache on it.
Just a little bit. We are back to give you all the news in the wrestling world today. And there's a lot of news in the wrestling world today.
Yeah, it's been a good week.
Yeah, it has.
The biggest news, obviously, is Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, January 4th.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho's first time outside WWE since 1999.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, so I think I told you that I was expecting this to lead to a match.
Yeah,
right?
this was clearly coming.
But I was not expecting it to lead to a match at Wrestle Kingdom, which is essentially New Japan's WrestleMania.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome.
Dude, so here's two theories, right? So the first one is this maybe leading to something, because I read something, maybe this is leading to a match between these two at WrestleMania. Because a lot of people, like Chris Jericho's this WWE lifer, and they don't think he would want to burn this bridge with Vince McMahon for a one-off appearance. So a former WWE writer said that he thinks this could lead to a match at WrestleMania. He says Jericho and Omega happening at Wrestle Kingdom, and then something and Jericho, or Omega and Jericho, something happening between them at the Royal Rumble 2 weeks later, leading to a match at WrestleMania. That's one theory. The other one is WWE just in such bad shape right now that Chris Jericho, a WWE lifer, would rather go wrestle in New Japan?
I don't think that he's just would rather go wrestle in New Japan so much as everybody wants to wrestle Kenny Omega. Why would you not want to wrestle Kenny Omega right now? It can only be good for you. Number one. Number two, I could definitely see that happening at WrestleMania. Kenny Omega has been alluding to in the tweets, I'll just have to go to the majors or whatever. But
right.
But he's been mocking the majors,
yeah.
Quote unquote.
I believe Kenny Omega did a press conference today. I think this match is going to be for the IWGP US title.
Yeah, but I don't think Jericho wins.
Maybe he does, though. That's what I'm maybe that's what leads to the match at WrestleMania. How crazy would that be if at WrestleMania the IWGP title is being defended at WrestleMania? Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho.
That'd be absolutely insane.
I don't think that's really going to happen, but
that would be insane.
It would be nuts. I mean, are you excited for this?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna watch non-WWE content, which is it's hard to get me to do that.
Right.
So I wanted to recently when they did Bullet Club versus New Japan guys. What was that? They did Ring of Honor New Japan in the UK. What was it?
They do it all the time.
Yeah, it was recently. It was a 6-man tag match or something.
I mean, was it?
I was trying to figure out how to watch that, but
you can get New Japan World. It's a $10 subscription. You can get it on. You have to get it online, but it's like the WWE Network.
Yeah.
I don't think ROH has one. So they should.
Do you really use the WWE Network the way it should be used?
I do. I like Ride Along and I like Table for Three.
Yeah.
Which are two of the shows, and especially the last episode of Table for Three was The Shield.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
So okay, and then Ride Along was The Shield and Sasha Banks and Bailey.
It was entertaining. They usually do weird pairings.
They do, yeah.
I watched Chris Jericho and Mark Henry.
Yeah, and did you see the Jericho Owens one?
No.
That one was good. It was filmed before they broke up, but didn't air until after they broke up. So there was a warning sign when it aired saying, this was recorded before for the Festival of Friendship.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I do use it for... And then Corey Graves does Superstar Inc. on there.
Yeah, I love Superstar Inc. But there's never, new episodes.
It takes them a while. They usually put them on WWE.com before, or on YouTube before it actually gets put on the network.
Unfiltered. Renee Young does, good interviews,
canceled.
too. Was it?
Yeah, Unfiltered was canceled.
Her last one was John Cena then?
Yep.
Man, terrible.
But I did enjoy Unfiltered.
They cancel all the good shit.
Yeah. I watched it when they did the Stone Cold podcast, obviously.
Yeah.
But Dean Ambrose ruined that, apparently.
Apparently. That was weird.
How are we on this? We were talking about Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega.
Dude, we have spiraled quickly.
This is going to be a long show. This keeps happening.
We always do this.
Yeah.
We get off topic. One thing leads to another always with us.
I would love, but to get back on topic, I would love for this to lead to a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I don't think it happens because I really do think WWE is like pissed off at the people in the Bullet Club right now because of the whole, basically because of the Young Bucks. And
I don't think they're pissed
Cody.
off. I
Oh,
think
I
they're
do.
just showing them.
I think Vince
who's
is.
boss.
I think Vince is. I think once Vince passes away and Triple H takes over, I think we will see more collaboration between like inner promotions, like TNA does and ROH and New Japan do.
Yeah, that thing with Triple H going to ICW.
Yeah.
That would never, like, I'm shocked that was allowed to happen.
Well, I think ICW kind of has a working relationship with WWE. I'm not sure, because if you remember a couple months ago when Finn Balor was hurt, he showed up at an ICW show also.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure if they have a working deal, but
They must, right?
But even still, like, that's not something you would have ever seen Vince do.
I thought, like, Finn just got a pass because, like, ICW's, like, in the UK, right? So
Yeah, it's in Ireland. I
yeah,
think.
so it's, like, kind of where he was at anyway, so.
And maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. That was awesome, Triple H showing up there.
Yeah, it is interesting to see. That tells you, like, how... I think WWE finally is starting to view indie promotions as not threats necessarily, but
Good for...
a good market
yeah.
to get into that they, would usually stay away from.
It's good for them
Yeah, absolutely.
to have, yeah.
You need that competition, too. Because you saw, like, once...
Well, not just competition, but just, like, a place for young, new wrestlers to grow and develop before they come up and get put on TV.
I mean, you saw what happened after WWE bought WCW. Their content, that's when WWE's content, like, dropped.
I'd say it was a few years. I'd say it's when they went PG when they dropped.
I think it was
For
even
me.
a little bit before there. Even, like, as soon as the Attitude Era was pretty much over, then we got the, Ruthless Aggression Era. Even still, I think that's when it started happening, after they had no competition. So then you get brand splits so that they can, try to compete within their own company.
You didn't enjoy the brand split? Like the first original brand split? Which
It
was
was
like 2002?
Right. Yeah, it was alright. Like, it was a cool concept, like, when it first happened.
I loved it.
But then they started getting away from it, and they started doing, like, super shows every Monday, where it was just a Raw with everybody on it. And then
they started integrating too much.
Yeah, and then they finally got away from the brand split. And obviously now we're back to it, but it's because they need competition.
I loved the brand split, and I didn't think WWE went sour there at all. Like, those are some of my fondest memories, yeah.
Agree
like,
to disagree.
Edge
Because,
versus
like,
John Cena was like
I'm not saying like
the hottest thing happening.
They had like really good matches within that time, but I think like I really feel like if you went and looked back, it would not be as good as you remember.
Isn't it weird that like Triple H isn't on like the Mount Rushmore
Yeah,
of like WWE
of WWE,
or
I'd
just
put him on
of
the
wrestling?
I'd put him on the Mount Rushmore if it's just WWE. I would not.
So you get 4 superstars. Who's your Mount Rushmore?
Of wrestling or WWE?
Wrestling. Doesn't matter. I think all of them
Hulk
would be
Hogan.
from WWE anyway, right?
Hulk Hogan,
Okay.
Ric Flair,
Yeah.
Stone Cold,
Yep.
and I feel like you can interchange Rock and Taker. For me personally,
So he's not on your Mount Rushmore.
I don't view Hogan as WWE. I view him more WCW.
Okay, well, but that's
But then, okay, so
basically
yeah,
the
no,
same
I guess,
thing
yeah,
now
I guess,
since they bought
not
all
then.
the rights and
Yeah, because if not Hogan, then it would be.
I think you got to go like
Rock or Taker.
8 to 10 deep to put Triple H on there, and that blows me away.
You think so?
Yeah.
So what's yours? I assume.
Well, it has to be Hogan, Flair, Stone Cold, and The Rock, right?
I mean, I think you could. I think you could put the Undertaker on there, and I don't think you'd have a lot of people argue.
I think
with
you could even put Cena instead of
Yeah.
The Rock, but
hell yeah, you're probably right.
yeah, but man, it blows me away that like you have to go so far to get to Triple H, who I think is like super underrated. I think he's one of the best ever. And nobody ever like when you mention the best ever, like he's never brought up.
No, he's
Ever.
not. And he's a fucking 14 times.
He was like the best bad guy ever.
Yeah, he was a really good heel.
Just made you hate the out of him.
No, you know who made me hate him really well was Edge. Like, he made me hate him with the whole, after the whole Matt Hardy thing happened, and then he went to the Rated R Superstar, he made me hate him.
And he
did it
was
in
making out with
such a
Lita every week.
Yeah, he did it in such a way that I loved him.
The way he won his first title.
Yeah.
With Cena just laying there all bloody.
Cashed in on him. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, he was the king.
The ultimate opportunist.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Through and through, man.
Absolutely.
So, 3 major returns this week. Nia Jax.
Yep.
Samoa Joe.
Yep.
Braun Strowman.
Yep. You can even put Stephanie in there.
Oh, Stephanie McMahon, yeah. Hadn't seen her since WrestleMania.
Except, oh, that's not true. We saw her the one time on SmackDown when KO attacked Vince.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't count.
I mean, you know.
That doesn't count.
I'm just saying. But which one was the biggest return for you?
Samoa Joe.
Really?
For me.
For you? But why is that?
I think, because I just love Samoa Joe.
You just prefer him over the other two?
Yeah.
Okay. I think
storyline,
it's
Braun Strowman. Yeah, absolutely.
Nia, that's, she could have stayed away and I would have been fine.
Storyline wise, you might put Samoa Joe last.
Probably.
Because
he had no real direction when he
goes in and he squashes Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
And then he takes out Titus afterwards, so he'll probably feud with him for a bit.
God, you think?
I think he's going to crush him.
I hope not.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what? Maybe that's not a bad thing. He's coming back from an injury. Maybe you give him somebody that he can just fucking destroy, and then he can be like...
He just needs to go back to the main scene quickly for me.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know what to think about the main event picture, knowing that it's pretty much written in stone that it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at Mania. You know what I mean? It doesn't get me too excited about the main event picture if you know that that's the end game right now.
Right.
But I do think Braun... So, let's kind of integrate these. Do you think Kane's whatever the hell they're doing with him, his sustained push is going to lead to a match between him and Braun?
Absolutely, and I think we see that even tonight on Raw, and not maybe the match, but some build up to it that sets some stone for it. But obviously, to me, they're just building him up to feed him to Braun. But the fact that you're doing it at the Shield's expense, at Finn Balor's expense, is ridiculous.
Right.
He no sells of fucking dirty deeds, just sits right back up. Cool. Yeah. I'm whatever.
It makes no sense that you're willing to almost bury 3 of your young
top
guys to have him just lose to Braun, who we already know should fucking beat him anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've seen too much corporate Kane and comedic Kane to take this seriously.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's looking at this and being like, oh, okay, yeah, Kane might stand a chance. We're still know Braun's gonna beat his ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I think ultimately Braun goes after the IC title.
I think he wins it if he does.
I think he has to, right?
And Miz has had a great long reign with it.
Yeah,
so.
I think he has to win it. Miz, like you said earlier, Miz has done a really good job of making that title mean something.
Yeah.
And I think if you put it on a guy like Braun Strowman...
It still means something.
It still means something. Whereas if you would have put it on Jason Jordan, you would have instantly not gave a shit about that title anymore.
Yeah, I agree. The problem is with Miz, his character needs a championship, and he needs a Maurice. I don't know where he goes from there.
I don't know, man. I do think that when he was feuding with Ziggler and even Ambrose when they were champions, when Ziggler and Miz chasing the title was still really entertaining also.
Yeah, but so you see him just staying in the IC title picture, going after the Universal Championship, or what?
I think if this is gonna sound weird, I think if WWE was smart, they would move him back to SmackDown.
I agree.
And one reason could be what's going on between him and Baron right now, right? They're feuding over Twitter.
Yeah, it's some great Twitter war.
And it's so because they're supposed to face off at Survivor Series, correct?
Right. As long as no titles change hand between now and then. We have
two more Raws. And
The Miz just defended against Matt Hardy. And Baron Corbin set to defend against Sin Cara.
Who I think might have actually got hurt today. Today or yesterday at a house show.
Sin Cara?
Yeah. I think at a house show. He got hurt.
Wow, people were cheering for him for the first time in forever. And he gets hurt.
I don't know how bad it was, but I saw the video. It looked like he went to... he was on the ropes and he went to pull pull the ropes down to get somebody to go over, and somehow his knee got like twisted or stuck. And you
didn't look good at all.
No, you ever see he was grabbing his leg, rolling around the ring, and I mean you've seen it in football, you've seen any injury. When you see a guy grab his knee,
yeah, it's scary.
It's rarely ever a good thing.
Probably a big timeline.
Yeah.
So let's get back to Nia Jax returning.
Okay.
She's going to be on the Women's Survivor Series match.
Yes.
Obviously tilts things in Raw's favor a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was stupid that Alicia Fox comes out with her captain's hat. She's like, I don't have time to wrestle. I've got captain duties. But then, like, she introduces Nia as Bayley's opponent. But then she just stands on the stage and watches the whole match. It's like, oh, didn't you have stuff to do?
Right. Let me ask you a question with this. So, Nia squashes Bayley, basically, right? And it's basically a squash match.
Yeah, Bayley has lost. Like, even that Fatal 5-Way, she lost that. She got pinned there.
Do you think, maybe there's not, but do you think there might be any hostility between Nia and the other women on the roster? Because Nia walked away because she wasn't happy, and then she got what she wanted, and...
Well, according to Alexa, she walked away because it was a schedule, and that's why she's back now. She just needed a little time off.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's any animosity there, or not that I've heard.
But I mean, the other women could argue. I mean, they're doing the same schedule she is,
right?
You know what I mean? I don't know. Just you personally, if you were in that position, would you kind of be pissed to if you were Bayley? Would you be mad to go under so quickly to her?
Because I feel like I would understand. Like I worked that schedule too. Like that shit's tough. Like,
but you're still there
new
doing
to this.
it.
Like,
you know what I mean? I don't know.
Take some time off.
I don't know.
Maybe it's not for everybody, but no, I don't think so. The only backstage hate I've heard in the women's division is between Alexa and Sasha, and that stems from like they real life don't like each other because Sasha.
Really?
Yeah, Sasha doesn't like that Alexa didn't grow up watching wrestling or whatever, and she just kind of came in and got the push she did. But apparently, like they both acknowledge that they don't really like each other, but they're both very professional in the ring and stuff. So that's all WWE cares about. But yeah, they made it known that.
I mean, she must.
Alexa Bliss is like, she doesn't like me. I don't care. So
she must not like Brock Lesnar either.
Right?
He didn't grow up watching wrestling. He didn't care.
But Sasha's like a diehard.
Kurt Angle.
Bayley's a diehard. So they think like, who's this chick? She's just coming in looking pretty. No, she can wrestle.
She can do her job. You know what I mean? Like she's good at what she does.
She's great at what she does.
Let's calm down.
Okay.
All right. So, do you think Nia, because of this whole thing, finally after Survivor Series gets her title run?
No.
Okay. Do you think Bayley? Like, what do you think of Bayley now?
I think she's the can of the women's division now.
Really?
She lost the triple threat.
Mm-hmm.
She got pinned by Nia in no time. The triple threat between Sasha and Alicia to figure out who the captain was. She was the one that got pinned in the Fatal 5-Way. Obviously, in WWE's eyes, she's the expendable one.
Why do you think that is? Is it her character?
No idea. I guess.
It's the only thing I can think of is that it's her character.
She's
not particularly great on the mic either, but she's not terrible.
She's not terrible at all. She's not like Titus O'Neil bad.
No.
Nobody's Titus O'Neil bad, so that was a bad.
You think he's that bad?
I think he's the worst.
I bet he's better than Apollo Crews.
Like
how bad do you have to be on?
To say,
how bad do you have to be on the mic to have Titus O'Neil talk for you?
So bad. Apollo Crews needs to go back to NXT.
I agree.
But then again,
that's WWE's fault. They brought him up way too early.
Who would be the resident can if he left, though? You know what I mean?
Who would be the resident what?
Can't.
Jobber
with a name is what I call him.
Titus.
Keep Titus just so you can. Yep.
I guess they could have not
put other guys over.
That's something we should talk about. Did we talk about all the releases last week? We did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. That's, I guess.
But to answer your question, I think Asuka goes after the title.
Oh, yeah.
And since we're on the title, it looks like Alexa Bliss finally put the Mickie James feud to rest this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, good matches, though.
They were really good matches. I think you're right. I think it's Asuka.
I hope so. She looked lethal fighting that one girl, Samantha, whatever. She looked absolutely brutal. That's how she should have been presented in the first place.
Yeah, I told you that.
Yeah, but I just didn't want it to be against Emma. Like, don't make Emma look like a little...
No, I agree. It should not have been Emma.
Okay, so big news with Roman Reigns potentially out of Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because Bo Dallas is back. He had the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Bo and Bray. Bray's back. He wasn't on TV, but he wrestled a house show.
Did he?
Yeah.
So
and JoJo's back.
Roman's not cleared. Triple H has become an honorary member of the Shield in his absence at house shows.
So you remember how...
Even though he's the one that broke them up.
Right. So, like, you remember how I talked about how, like, WWE has this problem with continuity?
Yeah.
This is a prime example.
Absolutely.
Like, he broke them up. And then not to mention... What was the match at WrestleMania? Him and Seth Rollins. Bro. So, like...
Seth Rollins slayed the King.
So he's wrestling as a face in absence of
Roman Reigns.
And I don't know what to say. Like, I guess since it's a house show, maybe it's not that big of a deal, right?
It's not like Triple H didn't just try and end your career, bro. Had Samoa Joe take out your knee.
Yeah.
He made him sign a waiver so that he could just rip him apart, takes him out with crutches. No, that's not personal.
Yep, no, none of that.
That's just
go
business.
Ahead and put the vest on and you're one of us now.
Yeah. They should have had Triple H portray them at the house show.
That would have been pretty
just
funny.
So it made sense.
Yeah. He even did the fist.
Yeah, he did the fist.
He did the ooh for the power bomb. Did you see when the three of them went back to dive through the rope? They hit the rope, and you know how Seth and Dean dive through the ropes. They run like they're going to dive, and Seth and Dean dive, and Triple H stops and just climbs out like an old man.
That's awesome. I got to look that up.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Yeah, I don't know. So, I guess... So this seems like there's a really, really good chance that Roman isn't going to be cleared by Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's surprising, because I thought for sure... I don't know.
You know what? I bet he failed another drug test, but it's their golden boy, so they don't want to really suspend him. So they're using
no, he's still sick.
He's still sick.
But everybody else is fine. No, but he's still sick.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm sure that's probably not the case.
Right. They're very public when someone gets busted, so I don't know why.
I guess, like, how bad does it have to be for him? I guess it's going to be really bad. Is he dying? Did he die already? Or is it just like every week there's like, nah, he's still sick. And like 20 years from now, we're going to be like, hey, whatever happened to Roman? They're like, he's still sick.
I wonder if, like, how this affects the Shield. Because, like, I always thought, like, the Shield reunion, when they reunited, I thought it was going to be temporary.
Right.
So this is taking time off of what I already think is, like, a temporary thing, just until, WrestleMania.
Right, because...
I don't think this, like, the Shield stays together.
I don't know. Like, maybe we don't even see the full reunion now. Like, maybe... again, because I don't know how long Roman's going to be gone. I mean, Survivor Series is in 2 weeks, so if he's not even going to make that... I can't imagine... I mean, he won't be on Raw the next night. Because if he's, cleared enough for Raw, he'd be cleared.
They do still have one more
Series.
Raw pay-per-view before Royal Rumble, right? Raw exclusive, just not SmackDown exclusive.
It should be in December, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Speaking of Royal Rumble real quick, I think either Roman Reigns or John Cena wins that. Just to get a little kind of off topic.
Sounds terrible.
I think it's going to be one of them. Because those are the two that are going to be fighting for the title. Well, that could all change now if AJ Styles beats Jinder Mahal for the title.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because that's confusing. Because on Tuesday, Rusev found out from Shane McMahon that he's going to be wrestling AJ Styles for the 5th and final spot.
Right.
To join Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode, and Shane McMahon. All right? And then we hear later on in the week that because of this beatdown, AJ Styles is going to face Jinder Mahal on Tuesday for the championship. So is AJ Styles wrestling 2 matches? Or did they just get rid of the Rusev match? What's going on there?
I think they got rid of the Rusev match because Rusev tweeted that he was on the team now. He was going to be the last man on the team.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, which tells me that I think AJ Styles beats Jinder for the title.
So you think AJ Styles wins the championship?
I think it's possible.
I think that's crazy.
They've said that Jinder Mahal might be hurt. Like he might be, he's been wrestling with a hurt shoulder. So is it possible that he's a lot worse off than they thought, and they just really need to take the title off of him now? Or do you think that maybe like Vince finally realizes that this gender thing is not working? Because I guess last week, SmackDown had like their lowest ratings in forever or a really long time.
I don't think their ratings would have anything to do with it. That's just me. Like I know they watch that and they care about that, but they've had bad ratings and not cared about heel champions before. I think, if anything, he's got to be hurt for them to take it off of him and to cancel that Brock Lesnar match.
God, Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles sounds so much better.
Sounds way better.
But it
sounds terrible, too.
Yeah, I don't want AJ to die.
AJ's going to get one F5, and then it's over. That's it.
Do you think like maybe AJ is like one of the guys that WWE wouldn't let that happen to?
Nope.
I'm not saying he'll win, but do you think that would be somebody that they would let have a competitive match with Brock?
I thought if it would be anybody, it would be Braun Strowman. I don't think it'll be AJ. I think they
him and
value
Joe
Braun
put on a hell of
over
a match.
AJ.
Him and not Braun, Samoa Joe. Yeah, Joe and Brock put on a hell of a match, which is why the match with Braun was that much more confusing.
Well, I think they tried to replicate that with Braun. I really do.
I don't think they did.
No, they didn't. That's the problem. Because they with Braun, they made it feel like he did everything possible and it wasn't enough. But with Samoa, because it was a submission, it feels like, oh, you just barely escaped him.
Right.
You just barely got away. Samoa almost had you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But with Braun, you're like, what else could he have done?
Right.
He gave him like 5 power slams. Well, that's his finisher.
But then one F5 beat him.
Right. One F5 beats Samoa Joe, too.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, but it felt different because one was him escaping a submission after Samoa Joe beat him up the whole match, whereas Braun beat him up the whole match and then 1 F5 puts him away. It's like, oh, okay. So they tried to replicate it. It just didn't work.
No, not
and
at all.
I think they're going to do the same match type with AJ. He's going to do all his offense. It's not going to put him away. And then Brock's just going to get up, F5, you're done. Terrible. But, I'll tune in.
So then the one person that they're going to let have a good match
Roman
with Brock
Reigns
is going to be Roman Reigns.
Yep. Jesus.
Man.
I wonder why people don't like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I don't know what to think. I think maybe this thing with Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho forces Vince's hand. He needs to be like, oh shit, I need to do something good for WrestleMania this year. Because I really think like the last couple of years, WrestleMania has been okay. Like, it's been fine, but it hasn't felt like WrestleMania, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. But they are, so for Raw's 25th anniversary, they announced that they're bringing back The Undertaker.
That should be interesting.
They're bringing back Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
They're bringing back
Kevin Nash?
Kevin Nash. Big Diesel.
What do you think they do with that?
No idea.
When is the 20th? Is that December?
It's in January.
It's in January?
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, I don't think this is like Chris Jericho's wrestling for New Japan now. I think this is a one-off appearance.
I think I agree with you.
Yeah. I don't think he's like, oh, okay, I'm going outside of WWE. I think he just really wanted to wrestle Kenny Omega.
But, I mean, shit, we've been wrong before.
Yeah. No, we're always right.
I feel like I'm wrong 90% of the time, so.
Right. Trying to predict SummerSlam was stupid.
God. Did we get every match wrong?
No, not every match. We predicted the Shield winning the belts.
Oh, that's right.
That might have been the only one.
That's right.
We predicted Brock Lesnar to win. We got that one right. So, 2 out of 12. So we're good.
So
actually, we got the. No, we didn't. Did you pick Sasha to win? Beat Alexa? No, I think we both picked Alexa.
I think I picked Alexa.
Yeah. Man, we're way off topic, by the way.
Yeah, what are we even talking about?
We're talking about SummerSlam. This is a recap of SummerSlam episode.
SummerSlam, Survivor Series, SS.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
All right. What else we got on the agenda for today?
IDK, my BFF Joe.
Do what?
So what does Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens do for Survivor Series?
I think...
Because I thought they were going to feud with Shane McMahon, but Shane McMahon is now the lead.
Which, hold on, I did want to talk about that. So Kurt Angle is going to be the leader of the Raw team. So that means we're getting Kurt Angle wrestling again in Survivor Series.
Against Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
I bet they start the match too.
Do you think Daniel Bryan's still pissed off? Which, by the way, Kane chokeslammed him. Did he take a bump, or do you think that was...
No, it was in the dark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's a reason it was in the dark.
He didn't bump that.
He didn't bump that.
I think Daniel Bryan's still getting pissed off about not being cleared, but Kurt Angle is.
He should be.
I would be. But you don't want Daniel Bryan to wrestle.
No.
But that's neither.
But if I was him, I would be upset.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So back to Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I honestly thought like maybe. Do you think like maybe Shane's like, all right, look, Kev, I need you on my team, and then he gets rid of like, I don't know, somebody.
He's not getting rid of anybody. This is not going to happen.
Then I have no idea what they do.
Because there's nobody for them to wrestle. Like, who
I'm trying to think of somebody on Raw that they could wrestle, but there's nobody.
There's nobody. What do you do with them?
The Bar?
That'd be fun, but
I guess
they're two heel factions. Probably not going to happen.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know what you do with them. Maybe we find out tomorrow.
I think they're off the card. I really do. I really think we have a Survivor Series without Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Right as Sami Zayn gets hot, you think finally he's getting a push. You know what? He's off the pay-per-view.
That's such a WWE thing to do.
Right? As soon as... Remember that when he beat Kevin Owens at Battleground? We've talked about this match a few times.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is the hottest he's ever been. Finally, they're pushing him. Was off like the next card.
Yep.
And I was like, what just happened? He just had like the best match of his life.
I guess you could leave them off the... Hold on. So I guess you could leave them off the card to further the feud with Shane after,
or maybe
after the fact.
Maybe they come in, they interfere, and they wreck the SmackDown team.
Cost SmackDown the title. Not the title, the match.
I could easily see that. Yeah,
I could see that too.
That's my prediction.
That might actually be what happens.
Yeah, I think we just figured it out.
WWE so predictable.
So predictable. We don't miss a thing.
Oh man, sometimes people listening don't know what's going on around us that catches our attention away from this, and
there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, okay, so Kurt Angle tells Daniel Bryan, you tell Shane McMahon, I'm bringing the gold medals, I'm bringing everybody, like, we're going to take SmackDown out, right? Yeah. Doesn't show up on SmackDown.
Right.
I have a prediction that it's going to be, they're waiting till the go-home show.
You think so?
They want that to be the lasting image, is Raw taking over SmackDown.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Or...
But he said, we're coming, and then they didn't show up. And they didn't even, it wasn't like last week where they're all like, you know, we got security in place, like we're expecting it. No, this week they're just like, we don't think anything's going to happen.
Or I could see it being this week, since they're the whole roster's in England together. Maybe they do it this week. I don't know if you do it. I don't know if you do it on a show that you pre-tape though.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like it's probably got to be a live show, which means it would have to be, next Tuesday? Not tomorrow, but the following week? Because Survivor Series is the 17th?
17th.
Or 19th?
This Sunday is the 12th, so 19th.
Okay. So I think it has to be the go-home show.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's the only one that makes sense. Because I don't think
they need to, pump it up more. They need to, say, next week we're coming. We're taking you out. Give yourselves time to prepare. It doesn't matter what you do. We're gonna take you out.
I think I disagree.
I watched this fan video someone made with 2K18, and they did a SmackDown Live episode, and they did the whole episode from start to finish. They had matches set out, and then each Kurt Angle or Shane McMahon comes out, is like, hey, welcome to SmackDown, and all of a sudden Kurt Angle comes down, and he's like, yeah, we're here, we're in the building, good luck. SmackDown's under siege tonight, and then walks away. And so you see Shane McMahon backstage telling Daniel Bryan, okay, let's get him out of here, sniff him out, let's get security, get him out. And every match gets interrupted, and you see guys just getting messed up in the back room and stuff. It's awesome.
See, that's what I mean, man.
Fans do it
better than WWE's writers.
You see Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura, because this was written for this week's SmackDown.
Uh-huh.
And you see the Shield just surround the ring, and it just take them out, and then it was awesome. And they closed out the show with Shane McMahon coming back out, super upset. His whole show was ruined. Every match was interrupted, whether it was the girls' match, whatever, it was interrupted. He was super upset, and suddenly the Shield surrounds the ring for him, and then Kurt Angle comes out and takes out Shane McMahon.
See, that's fucking brilliant. Why can't WWE do something like that?
Right? I was like, solid, bro.
They never do anything like that. Like,
Never.
every time when I think, I'm like, man, I think this is what WWE is going to do. Like, this makes sense. And then they just don't ever do anything cool. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I think this is how this match is going to end. And it's like, nope, never mind. It's just a roll-up pin.
I feel like the best part of that fan video was like Aiden English walks up to Roman Reigns, like, because he shows like they're taking everybody out with like chairs, like Braun Strowman power slams Bobby Roode like 50 times. But you see Aiden English run up to Roman Reigns, push him, just like, what the hell, man? And Reigns is like, what? Who's this guy? Just literally throws him into a locker and keeps walking. Like, that guy's not worth my time.
What did you watch this on?
On YouTube.
I think I'm going to watch this when I get.
Because I was trying to look up the highlights.
I think I'm going to watch that when I leave. That's pretty funny.
You have to watch that. That's pretty dope.
I love it. Have you bought 2K18 yet?
No, have you?
No. But I really want to get it.
I think about it all the time.
I think about it like every day.
I didn't like the last one though, so.
Yeah, the last one was hard.
Terrible. I hadn't played like a wrestling video game since like 2010 or 11.
Oh, wow. So it's like completely different than what you remember.
Yeah, and there was no tutorial. There's no Raw versus, like, there's no GM mode. It was terrible. I didn't like it.
But so you're going to get 2K18 eventually?
Yeah, probably. Why not?
Went and played poker yesterday after work, and then had dinner with my family. But like when I went and played poker, I won $85, and I was like, I should just go grab this game real quick, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to use it towards my IC title that I'm paying on. I don't know.
Man, that'll be dope. Get that white IC title.
I can't
up.
wait.
That's dope.
I feel like we're just monologuing now because we run out of stuff to talk about.
All right, guys. That's all we have for you today.
Thank you.
We're talking all sexy now.
Oh, yeah. Get you guys back with our voices.
Your voice is sexier than mine, but...
Hey, thanks, man. I know. So,
yeah.
People tell me all the time I got a sexy voice.
All right, guys. Thanks for checking us out today on Mark Out Wrestling. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
And our website.
Stitcher, our website, 816podcasting.com. At 816podcasting for all of those. Check out From Psycho to Shiva with Chase and Tom.
And sometimes Anthony.
And sometimes Anthony.
But not tonight.
Not for the next couple weeks. I'm not doing it tonight. Next week I'll be out of town.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you.